You're watching Bermuda Tonight. It's Wednesday, October the 17th. I'm Jasmine Patterson, and thanks for joining us. An almost 5% decline in the volume of retail sales for the month of July, making this the 5th consecutive month of decline. But wait till you hear how much a gallon of gas costs back then. Here's Gary Moreno with more.
Figures contained in the July Retail Sales Index released today show that after adjusting for the rate of inflation measured at 3.3% in that month, the overall volume of retail sales fell 4.9%, making July the 5th consecutive month of retail sales declines. In real terms, that amounts to just under $105 million not spent in the local retail sector. Of the 6 sectors impacted by the fall in volume of sales, motor vehicle sales was hardest hit, with a drop of almost 29% in the number of vehicles sold. That translates to a 7.2% drop in sales receipts year over year. And more blues for clothing retailers, as items were not flying off the racks as they would perhaps have liked. The amount of goods they sold in July this year was off slightly more than 16%. The absence of the America's Cup cited as the reason for the decreased figures in the clothing sector. In value terms, sales revenue for apparel stores was down 13.5%. And it appears fewer people were filling up at the pump in July, as the amount of fuel sold fell by 1.6%. There was, however, an almost 10% increase in the cost of fuel, and that's thanks to lower demand. By the way, back in July, a litre of gasoline cost $2.20. So when you do the conversion, though, it works out to be around $8.31 per gallon. Diesel cost $7.40 a gallon and kerosene $6.27 back in July. Food and liquor stores took a marginal hit in terms of sales volume, with a decline of less than 1%. However, their receipts were up 0.6% and 2.3% respectively. It seems the only winner in terms of the amount of goods sold back in July was the building materials sector, where there was an increase of almost 12% in volume of goods sold. This was reflective of higher demand for construction supplies for commercial projects and increased contract sales. Sales receipts in that sector were also up almost 12%. Elsewhere, residents declared $4.6 million in overseas purchases during the month, rising 35.3% or $1.2 million more than in July last year. This, according to the Department of Statistics, contributed to a combined local and overseas spending of $109.3 million in July. Gary Moreno, reporting for the Bermuda Broadcasting News.
Well, where is his plan to reverse this alarming drop? That's what Craig Cannonier wants to know in light of those retail figures released today. According to Mr. Cannonier, not only do the latest figures show a 5th consecutive fall in the volume of sales, they show that they are lower than 2014 levels. While we could have expected a fall after the America's Cup, to fall on pre-America's Cup year shows that a government's policy of increasing the taxes on Bermudians is having a very negative effect on the economy. The opposition leader argues we have seen a raft of new taxes, not least the sugar tax, which is hitting Bermudians' pockets and which is still to rise by another 25% to 75%. We have seen the falls in the GDP, rises in health care costs, and a $1.2 million payout to a former PLP premier, and a drastic 20% fall in the level of business confidence. Mr. Cannonier asserts the premier is intent on chasing the fintech dragon, and we hope that it is successful in creating jobs for every Bermudian, but he admits that will take time. However, he adds if these falls in key economic indicators continue, time is something we have not got. He continues the premier can talk in nice headlines like government revenue is up and the deficit is down, but that is due to the extra taxes he has imposed, which are now hurting the very people he pledged to help, end quote. Now, gaming in Bermuda will go ahead as planned, despite comments to the contrary from Deputy Opposition Leader Leah Scott. More from Mike Sharp.
The Minister of Economic Development and Tourism, Jamal Simmons, remains confident that gaming will become another pillar in the economy. The minister slapped the Deputy Opposition Leader Leah Scott on the wrist for her comments that gaming will not take off in Bermuda.
Well, I think it's unfortunate that a minister who has regular meetings with me, a shadow minister has regular meetings with me, a shadow minister who is kept abreast of both that's going on, instead of trying to work together and trying to have a spirit of cooperation around a very important part of our next economic pillar, would resort to sort of taking this approach. And I think, first of all, people have to be clear. 2 provisional gaming licenses have been issued, one to the St. Regis, which is under construction, and one to the Hamilton Princess, which I believe was always set to schedule to start in 2019. So those 2 projects are proceeding at their own pace.
Shadow Minister Leo Scott also questioned why there is no executive director of the Bermuda Casino Gaming Commission since Richard Schultz resigned 14 months ago.
When it comes to the issue of the executive director, as the Shadow Minister knows, they are in no position to talk about hiring executive directors because we don't want to repeat the mistake of hiring an executive director under police investigation, even though we've indicated we cannot take the reputational risk. We have had some interesting challenges in terms of making sure we get the right person, but learning from the issues of the past, we believe we will have a fit.
Minister Simmons applauded the BCGC and AG's office for getting the first phase of regulations completed.
There was a blockage there, a deadlock that has now been cleared. And not only has it been cleared, we actually think that working together they have come up with a better solution in terms of how to get the gaming regulations out. The 2 sets rather than what was proposed before. With this, I think that we can be very encouraged about the future of gaming in Bermuda. The corresponding banking issue is an issue. It still remains an issue that we're trying to crack. But I think that this government understands that when banks are an issue, you find solutions and alternatives.
So, with the Bermuda Hospitality Institute involved, what is the time frame when jobs will be created for these casinos?
We're actually going to be rolling out over the next few weeks a couple of issues. The Gaming Commission have not just been working on regulations. They've done some tremendous work on problem gaming, getting ahead of that. They've also been in talks with the Bermuda Hospitality Institute in terms of preparing Bermudians. How do we get people ready to work in a casino at a 5-star hotel? And those are the things, because what we do want, and this is a very important component, these hotels come online, whether it's the St. Regis, Morgan's Point, or the Bermudiana Beach Resort at the former Grand Atlantic. What we don't want is for the best and the brightest Bermudians to be poached from all the other hotels.
And I'm Mike Sharp with Bermuda Broadcasting News.
Jamel Simmons, the Minister of Economic Development and Tourism, speaking there about the future of gaming in Bermuda. Coming up after the break, we have more news for you, including all the latest on the weather front. Stay with us.
16,000 Bermudians find the easiest, cheapest way to bring packages to Bermuda is with U.S. Express at mailboxes.
There are things that you can't ship to Bermuda sometimes, especially IT equipment and things like that. It's just easy to put in a U.S. address and it just gets there every time. They notify me immediately when the packages show up. If they need an invoice, I send it to them, but when I show up here, it's ready to go.
When you shop online, always use your mailbox's U.S. Express address in New Jersey to save money.
You can count on us.
Organic Gala, Fuji, Granny Smith apples, and Bartlett Pierce, only 99 cents each. Certified Angus beef, top round steak, regular, thin, London, just $7.99 per pound. Select varieties of Arm & Hammer 2X laundry detergent, only $9.99 for a 75-ounce bottle. Select varieties of Ocean Spray cranberry juice, $5.65 for a 64-ounce bottle. Hot price on Friendly's ice cream, only $4.65 for a 48-ounce tub. Visit our website at www.marketplace.pm for more weekly specials.
Philadelphia International Medicine provides international patients with access to a unique network of world-renowned doctors and surgeons that provide personalized medical and surgical care, connecting you to the U.S.'s leading healthcare specialists who are ranked among the best in the world. Healing is possible when you're confident in your healthcare team. To find out more, contact us at physicians@philadelphiamedicine.com or call 1-215-563-4733.
Welcome back. The Corporation of Hamilton comes to the rescue of the Ministry of Public Works as that ministry continues to be faced with equipment problems which it says will hopefully be ironed out before year's end.
It was the site of Corporation of Hamilton trash trucks operating in the St. David's area over the weekend, which led to calls to our newsroom inquiring why. Well, according to Colonel David Bedge, the Minister of Public Works, they're simply lending a hand with the ongoing trash collection issues. Colonel Birch says the once-a-week trash collection in the main is being adequately managed, with household waste being collected on the day scheduled. However, there often is an issue with collection of the bulk refuse containers, or BRCs, as his ministry is short of lift trucks capable of providing the service for the almost 300 bins located at schools, institutions, condominiums and communal collection points island-wide. Colonel Birch explains that as part of the continuous assessment of garbage collection, the Ministry of Public Works has arranged with the Corporation of Hamilton and various private sector contractors to utilize their vehicles to assist with bin collection. In the case of the Corporation of Hamilton, Saturday is the day which they can assist without adversely affecting collection in the city. So for the past several weeks, corporation trucks have been used to collect garbage, while private contractors have been used on an as-needed basis. The minister adds this arrangement will remain in place until the arrival and commissioning of new trash trucks in December, trucks which will be capable of handling the BRCs. Asked about the cost of doing this, a spokesperson told us that figure will fluctuate each week depending on the number of public works trucks which are out of service. However, there was no response when pressed on how much has been spent so far and what headway has been made in getting public works trucks which were out of service back online. A spokesperson for the Corporation of Hamilton, though, informed us there is a bit of quid pro quo involved, as the corporation will charge government at cost for the labour only, same as when Public Works provide labour for the city. In terms of a dollar figure, they added, it would be hard to say as the final costs have not yet been determined due to the work having not yet been completed. Gary Moreno, reporting for the Bermuda Broadcasting News.
Thanks, Gary. Well, government intervened 2 months ago to halt plans to have beach concessions set up at Shelly Bay. Following the pushback from a group of concerned residents, Kevin Dallas, the Bermuda Tourism Authority CEO, says those plans have now officially been thrown out.
So the Tourism Authority's beach economy vision is to create entrepreneurial opportunities on a limited number of Bermuda's beaches in ways that enhance the visitor and local experience on that beach. So the idea was not to make all of Bermuda's beaches like Shelly Bay, but to draw out the elements of each beach that make it distinctive and special already without harming our natural environment. So we were, of course, disappointed with what happened at Shelly Bay, but that doesn't change the fact that Shelly Bay remains a family-oriented beach and a beach that we think could be utilized more by visitors and by locals, and will, of course, continue to encourage them to go there. As I think others have pointed out, there are other beaches in the beach economy vision, and we will certainly be looking at what we can do to create entrepreneurial opportunities for Bermudians on those beaches and potentially other beaches that are not necessarily part of the national park system today.
But involvement from the BTA in your original plans, that plan is now off.
That's correct, yes.
Weather now, and yet another beautiful day out today. It certainly was warm, and up on Taurocam we have an equally beautiful sunset. Now let's head over to the AccuWeather headquarters for the latest.
AccuWeather is presented by BF&M Insurance Group. We now go to AccuWeather headquarters.
This AccuWeather forecast here on ZBM is brought to us by our friends at the BF&M Insurance Group, and we have a front headed our way. But it really looks like a pleasant evening for us, so you can get out and about and enjoy this quiet spell before the front rolls in this evening. The best chance for rain is going to be well after midnight tonight, so we really do expect to stay dry for the next several hours. The stripe of showers and clouds are approaching, though, so late tonight into tomorrow morning, look out for a much greater chance for some rain. Satellite estimated rainfall shows we still have plenty of breathing room before these showers roll in from the north and west. So we're dealing with temperatures around 79, kind of a nice night out there. A little breezy, winds from the west at 10 to 15 knots, humidity holding at around 70%. On the inside, at times, it's nearly flat, but eventually we'll see waves on the inside around 1 to 2 feet. Outside, waters 3 to 5 feet later on tonight. And even at this point, we have 3 to 5 footers out there. So tonight, partly cloudy, quiet for the evening, and then later on tonight, operative word here is late, a brief shower or two, and that's when the breeze will pick up as well. A small craft warning begins late tonight as well. That goes through Thursday into Friday morning. because of the more agitated weather that we're going to see as this front rolls through. And by the way, the tide is going out, low tide at 10:23 tonight, high tide at 4:12 Thursday morning, another low tide at 10:41 Thursday morning, and then high tide again at 4:42 on Thursday. During that whole time, the waves will be a little bigger out there, and boating weather will not be quite as nice. So clouds will be with us and some intervals of sun as well. Showers will be out there as well. And look out for a brief thunderstorm with this front pushing in on Thursday. It will be a breezy time as well, and we'll have a high around 79 degrees. Here, Futurecast will bring this to life for us this evening. Again, great weather this evening. No weather worries. And then after midnight, probably several hours after midnight, this front will produce some showers. The true front pushes through during the day on Thursday, and this somewhat narrow stripe of showers will then continue on south. Most of Friday will be dry. You'll notice when we show the 5-day, you'll see a few raindrops on Friday. They'll be short-lived. Into the Caribbean we go. Scattered showers and thunderstorms in Jamaica, Barbados, Trinidad and Tobago. Some occasional downpours here and there. Just the typical Caribbean shower sliding on through in those areas. And this is nice. No tropical threats in the Atlantic Basin. Certainly good news here. Hurricane season does end at the end of November. So we're not done with things yet, but certainly a good trend. Look at the flakes, snow showers, and some raindrops mixed in into Toronto. We're seeing the seasons change, and it is chillier than average into New York and Boston as well. Atlanta is running cool. Miami's still holding on to the warm, and in London, 60 degrees for your high. So again, showers and storms Thursday. Any of these showers Friday will be minimal, very short-lived. Most of Friday will be dry. Great weather Saturday, Sunday, and then we'll turn a little breezy again into Monday with another front on the map. Back to you.
AccuWeather was presented by BF&M Insurance Group.
This summer I was in Germany on holiday with my family, and on a whim one day my son and I joined a speed sliding competition. And as I came down the water slide, I went straight down in the pool and whacked my left foot on the bottom of the pool. And I looked down and I didn't see a foot. I just saw the bones sticking out, and I started to feel faint. I was ambulanced to a hospital where I stayed for 11 days and had surgery. I had snapped all the ligaments on both sides of my ankle. And in the middle of all this stress and pain, we thought, how are we going to deal with health insurance? How will we pay for this? And I got a response from Allison at BF&M, and she said, your admission and surgery will be covered at 100%. I didn't have to put it on a credit card and deal with a reimbursement later. It made such a big difference to us. And for me, the BF&M difference is stress-free insurance when I really needed it.
Surface Terms has been serving Bermuda for over 25 years, supplying and installing tile and natural stone. We have a large in-stock selection of beautiful porcelain wood planking, including our exclusive Bermuda cedar tile. You will also find Bermuda's best in-stock selection of countertops, including natural granites, exotic quartzites, and silestone engineered quartz in all the newest colors. Our team will be happy to help you. Stop by our showroom at 17 Serpentine Road or give us a call at 295-8005.
New Toyota Rush, Bermuda's biggest SUV with 7 seats. There's always plenty of room. Available at Bermuda Motors.
From the very beginning, it was always our singular focus to do whatever it takes, use every possible resource to fight cancer, and never lose sight of the patients we're fighting for. Our cancer treatment specialists share the same vision. Experts from all over the world working closely together to deliver truly personalized cancer care. And these are the specialists we're proud to call our own. Expert medicine works here. Learn more at cancercenter.com. Appointments available now.
Welcome back, and this just in. We've received word that 3 workers, all Bermudian, have been made redundant at Bermuda Motors. It's understood they worked in the cycle repair, wholesale, and spare parts department. Sources telling Bermuda Broadcasting News this could just be the start of the redundancies, as it's thought more workers could be sent home in the coming weeks. We've reached out to the company for comment and are awaiting a response. The three now former employees are said to have more than 20 years service combined at the company. The most senior of the three said to have been employed at the company for 13 years. And the much talked about Bermuda Economic Development Corporation Sports Club Microloan Initiative was launched at a seminar that took place at the Bermuda Industrial Union last evening. The initiative was one of the highlights of the PLP's government's 100-day pledges. Now the groundwork has been laid in terms of preparing the island's sports clubs on how to access that funding. The Sports Club Loan is a product that was created in line with the BEDC's dialogue with sports clubs recently. Many clubs communicated that due to the recent recession, such a product would be helpful to improve the venues of the sports clubs, reduce their carrying costs, and thereby increase business cash flows. According to the BEDC, the Sports Club Loan is designed to assist existing incorporated LLC sports clubs with value-added improvements through funding, with a borrowing range in the amount of $2,500 to $25,000. Sports clubs will have the chance to access funding to create revenue-generating opportunities. Approved loans are unsecured, so clubs will not be expected to provide any collateral. As the BEDC will be providing an unsecured credit facility, all loans will be thoroughly vetted and, if granted, will be structured in a way to enable approved applicants to successfully fulfill their loan obligations. Repayment terms start between 9 and 36 months, with an interest rate of 2.5%. Reminding the loan to clubs was included in government's 2017 throne speech, Jamal Simmons, Minister of Tourism and Economic Development, told participants government is proud to be leading with innovative club funding mechanisms to drive new economic success. Clubs, he adds, have historically played a key role in Bermuda as a connector to our community. However, they can also play a key role in the economic development of our communities and our island, from creating an environment to foster micro-enterprise, or vendors to facilitating business development through renting out physical space to established entrepreneurs. He continues, being able to have access to timely and useful financial products can assist clubs in this economic development role, and the resources and information presented here have all been created to be a hand up and not a handout. End quote. Still to come in tonight's newscast, Earl Basin will have all the latest sports news in just a few.
Sears is Bermuda's largest home appliance store with over 200 appliances in our showroom. We have refrigerators and freezers, gas ovens and electric ranges, washers and dryers. Sears has a wide selection of craftsman's tools and accessories. Beautify your home with our lawn and garden tools. We have everything you need for outdoor entertaining. Located at 41 Victoria Street, Sears is open Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Sears, reliable delivery, quality service, and everyday low prices.
I'm Tony Waterman. Coming up on The Breakdown this week, as Canada legalizes the use of recreational marijuana, where are the opportunities for Bermudian investors and the insurance sector? From chocolates to gummies to hair products, a look at how popular cannabinoid products have been in Bermuda and the most feathered out event in the Bermuda calendar. But the man behind the event says it's not all fun and games. That's Thursday at 8 p.m. on ZBM TV 9.
Now let's go to Earl Basin with the very latest from the sports desk.
Round 2 of the Bermuda ITF Junior Tennis Tournament took place at the W.E.R. Joe Tennis Stadium yesterday, with Bermuda's two youngsters taking to the courts.
Trey Mallory would fall in straight sets to William Caston from the USA, 6-3, 6-3. Tariq Simons would also fall when he went down in straight sets 6-2, 6-1 to Jeffrey Fadkin from USA. In first round doubles action, Scott Redmond and Simons advanced in straight sets 6-2, 6-4 over Alva Kane from the USA and Wenzu Gu from China. Mallory teamed up with Matthew Dahl from Great Britain, and they defeated Timus Choi from USA and David Palou from Italy in straight sets 6-2, 6-1. The Bermuda Football Association introduced the Coaching License Initiative back in March of 2016, which came into effect August 31st of this year. The policy stipulates that all coaches must obtain the Bermuda Football Association coaching license by no later than August 31st, 2018. The coaching license is required for children 7 to 11, youth 13 to 17, and senior football expansion first and Premier Division coaches. There were 11 clubs who fell afoul of the policy. During the recently held Bermuda Bermuda Football Association annual Congress meeting, the coaching license policy was addressed and a motion from the floor to reconsider the sanctions applicable for non-compliance was defeated by the clubs with no further motion put forward. As a result, the sanction, inclusive of match forfeitures, were then communicated to the non-compliant clubs. A few days later, following the annual Congress meeting, representatives of the Bermuda Football Association Executive Council were invited to a club president's meeting to receive a proposal from club presidents. Subsequently, a special Congress meeting was organized to allow the clubs to consider and vote upon the proposal. As a result, the clubs voted to delay becoming compliant with the coaching licensing requirements until January 31st, 2019. Additionally, there will be no match forfeitures for the 2018-19 season. Jonathan Duca made 6 saves to lead the Thomas College men's soccer team to a 0-0 draw with Hudson in a North Atlantic Conference game at Smith's Field. Thomas College men's soccer features 7 Bermuda players on their roster that include Mikael Walker, Justin Val, Jazade Samuels, Tequilo Burgess, Zanawi Bowen, Javid Warren Smith, and Darren Woolridge. Elijah Daly competed in the 2018 Hall of Fame swim meet hosted by the Attenborough Swim Club. Daly competed in 8 finals in the boys 12-year-old age group and was on the podium 7 times, winning 5 silver medals and 2 bronze medals to go along with 1 record-breaking performance and 8 personal best times. Competing in the 50-meter freestyle, Daly won the silver medal, touching on ball in a time of 27:71. During the 100-meter freestyle final, Daly would win the bronze medal with a time of 1:01:38. Another bronze medal was won during the 50-meter backstroke final, with Daly clocking 32:40. During the 100-meter backstroke final, Daly finished 4th, stopping the clock in a time of 1:09:60. It was back to medal honors when Daly captured the silver medal during the 50-meter breaststroke final, clocking 36:13. Daly would then win the 100-meter breaststroke final silver medal, stopping the clock in a time of 1:19:86. During the 50-meter butterfly final, Daly won the silver medal, touching the ball in a time of 30:13. He would then save his record-breaking performance until the end when he won the silver medal during the 100-meter butterfly final, clocking 1:06:51, breaking the record of 1:08:42 set by his brother Ethan Daly back on May 18, 2014. Lewis Cooper sailed the St. Mary's College of Maryland B boat during the inaugural Oyster Bowl Fleet 1 regatta. The event was a 2-conference regatta sailed in the 420 boat hosted by St. Mary's College of Maryland. Lewis would finish with 87 net points, helping St. Mary's College to finish 6th overall. Bermuda 3's World Team Championship Golf Tournament brings top professionals and amateurs to the island's best courses, considered the world's most entertaining pro-am. The tournament will be played on 3 golf courses. Mid-Ocean Club, which hosted the PGA Grand Slam of Golf, was recently ranked number 54 for greatest golf courses in the world by Golf Digest. Port Royal Golf Course also hosted the Grand Slam of Golf. It features the stunning ocean views, capped off by the 235-yard par 3 16. Turtle Hill Golf Club, the site of Bermuda 3's final 2 championship rounds, has been ranked a top 5 par 3 course in the world by Golf Magazine and dubbed a hidden gem by Golf Magazine. Meanwhile, Walker Campbell and his William & Mary's men's golf teammates fired a 581 13 over par in 2 rounds of the Georgia Intercollegiate Golf Tournament and sit in 6th place. Junior Campbell leads William & Mary and is tied for 14th in the tournament. Taylor Carrick continued competing in the Nordic Junior Squash Open in Sweden. Carrick, taking part in the consolation division, took on Francis Polaska from the Czech Republic and defeated him in straight games 11-2, 11-7, 11-5. Carrick would then take on Sean White from Ireland, and he would defeat him in 3 straight games 11-6, 11-5, 11-9. Teaches rugby football player Patrick O'Shaughnessy, studying at the University of Maastricht in the Netherlands, made his debut for the Maastricht Rugby Club. The club is a 40-year-old club and plays in the Dutch 2nd Division. O'Shaughnessy, playing in his favorite spot, the outside center, managed a try in his team's 36-24 win over Rotterdam Rugby Club. Arkansas running back Davwar Whaley is out until at least November, this after having a successful ankle surgery.
I'm Earl Basden with Bermuda Broadcasting Sports.
6 people taken to hospital after a taxi collided with a private car in Warwick. Police say they responded to a reported crash on Middle Road in Warwick near the junction with Spring Hill yesterday just before 2 p.m. A taxi driver carrying 3 passengers and a car carrying 2 people were being driven in opposite directions when the vehicles collided, causing damage to both vehicles. All received medical attention at King Edward Memorial Hospital before being discharged. Any witnesses to this incident are asked to call the police on their main number 295-0011. And that's our show for this evening. Thanks for watching. Good night.
Jasmine Patterson's wardrobe and makeup is provided by Gibbons Company.